In 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to episode 5 of the Squared Circle. With me tonight, I got Justin.
Hey, I'm Botter at Botter on Twitter.
We got a guest tonight, and Eric.
Hi, Eric, the personality on Twitter.
The infamous John.
What a WrestleMania. John Judd here.
Kelvin.
What's up, guys? KFed007 on Twitter.
And another guest tonight, Tad.
What's up, at Ted Johnson SK? Yeah, WrestleMania was fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to get right into that right now. We're going to go to what everybody wants to see, talk about, we'll say. Not see, apparently, but talk about. Undertaker's streak is over. If you guys didn't watch Raw or WrestleMania, you probably shouldn't be watching this podcast right now. But if you did, if you did, Undertaker lost last night to Brock Lesnar. Eric, let me get your opinion on Brock being the guy to beat the streak.
I'm dumbfounded by it. A guy that walked out on us after WrestleMania 20 comes back 8 years later, and then 2 years later ends the streak. I don't know what they were thinking, even though I do believe it was more of Undertaker's choice, not the company's choice.
Yeah, it's been said that Undertaker decided he wanted to lose to Brock, which blows my mind. But Tad, you're an old school wrestling guy. What do you think about it was Brock that won it, and not Triple H or HBK back in the day?
Same. I'm not a fan of Brock doing it. Obviously, I realized from the beginning the streak was going to be broken eventually. It's kind of an old school thing where you go out on your back, and I think that's what the Undertaker was doing. I wish it hadn't been Brock, but I don't know. I think it surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, we had a little WrestleMania party at the Ring King's house last night, and let me just say there was some shocked faces around the room. That's for sure.
Except for me.
Yeah, Justin, we'll throw it to you because we know that you're on the other end of this one. What do you think about this?
Brock Lesnar is the only guy, in my opinion, that has, that can break the streak because he is a part-time wrestler. You don't want to have a mainstay have that moniker on him, because he'll get heat forever, his whole career. Oh, you're the one that was chosen to break the streak. Have a monster come in, do his part, break the streak, and you can play him out for a month and then let him go because that's what everybody's expecting. But I'm happy that Brock did it because it's just, they build him up to do it, and he did it.
John, your take on the streak, and maybe throw in there what you found out about his actual injury today too.
Well, I agree with Botter that I think Brock Lesnar would probably be a good guy. I've had 24 hours to, take it all in because I was a big fan of the streak. Not a big fan of Taker, but the streak, I liked it. And just the only thing that really upsets me about it is that it was just a god-awful match. I think the HBK or Triple H matches were great matches, and if you had to end it, that's where you end it. The person doesn't necessarily upset me. It was the match. It was just awful. But I read today that Undertaker was legitimately hurt early in the match. He got a severe concussion after taking a rough fall off a leg drop outside of the ring. And he was just out of it. And you could tell watching the match, he was gassed. He wasn't taking those German suplexes like he should. He wasn't helping Brock out at all. And I don't know, maybe that just played into why the match was so awful. But that's just what breaks my heart. If you end the streak, you end it on a great match. It just wasn't.
HBK 2 would have been the perfect match to end it on, personally.
Or
not Brock Lesnar.
CM Punk.
CM Punk still. HBK.
Oh my God! Every week with you guys, CM Punk. Golly, man, I tell you.
Come back to us.
Hold on. Let's get Calvin's opinion real quick. Calvin, what do you think about the streak ending?
I was kind of disappointed that it ended the way it did with Brock Lesnar beating him. Being a huge fan of HBK, I would have rather seen HBK do it in the second match with HBK. It was just an epic match all around. HBK stole the show in that match, and that's where they should have ended it, not with Brock Lesnar. But then again, Brock Lesnar is going to fade out now, and it just ends it.
Yeah, I don't know. Does he fade out now, though, after watching tonight's Raw? I mean, they really were pushing, Brock Lesnar on the crowd. If he would have fade out, I think he would have came out kind of done more than just say he broke the streak and how he's going to dominate WWE. my guess is he's probably gonna get a push for the title now that Bautista is obviously gonna get that push. I don't think, but I think it was a good match. I think I'm glad it took 3 F5s, which usually one knocks somebody out. 3 F5s to show that Undertaker's that strong. It took that much for him to actually lose the streak. Not Brock. I'm sorry, just not Brock. I get the part-time thing because you don't want too much heat. What about Shawn Michaels, who was going out on top finally for once? But no, it's WWE's moniker. Tad said it. Moniker. You go out, you got to go out on your back. That's kind of like their thing. But does Undertaker retire now, Tad? What do you think is the end of it, or is he done for good, or does he come back for something else?
I'm really not sure. I'm almost wondering if the reason they ended the streak this year was to pull a little bit of pressure off next year. Maybe, there's nothing confirmed at all, but maybe something with Sting. There's been a lot of stuff about how he's been signed. There's nothing, obviously no concrete evidence, except for him saying that his favorite number was 31 at WrestleCon. Everybody kind of freaked out about that. I think with the streak being over, now it can just be Icon versus Icon instead of, Icon versus the streak.
Yeah, you don't got to have this, the streak, career versus streak or beast versus streak. It could just be, I get it. It could just be a match. I think that's real good. Yeah. Eric, what do you think about the future of Undertaker?
I agree with what Tad just said. The focus isn't on the streak. It can just be, WrestleMania 31, the Immortal versus the Icon. Just going with that. But I don't know. Will he even make it to WrestleMania next year because of the condition and shape that he's in? Last year he came back from having hip surgery. This year he is injured during the match. Can he make it one more match? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's not young by any means. He's not Undertaker of old. He's not agile and athletic like he used to be. He's just, he can still walk the rope and do whatever, but he's not the young, explosive Undertaker. And I don't see how they can use him well anymore at WrestleMania. You can't just have a one match a year if it's not the streak Undertaker to me. Botter, what do you think about Undertaker's future in WWE?
Right now it's kind of up in the air. He's getting injury prone. He's not a spring chicken anymore. He would have to at least put in some effort to train or get himself in shape or get cleared by medical or whatever. But I'd like to see the Immortal versus the Icon at 31. That'd be, in my opinion, something that should have happened years ago. But just Sting in the WWE to begin with. But it'll be left up to Taker if he thinks he can do it or not. He had control of whether the streak was going to end, but I hope he could make it one more match just to lose the Sting.
Calvin?
I don't know if it's necessarily WrestleMania worthy, Sting versus Undertaker now that the streak's over. Ooh. I'd rather see that at a Hell in a Cell type thing. Like a smaller pay-per-view.
Really?
Just with the shape the Undertaker's in, it's not worth watching.
Sting's never wrestled in WWE though. That's the whole thing is Sting's was stayed true loyal to WCW. Never went because how the Attitude Era was and how dirty it was. He always said he wouldn't go. That's like I said, the Icon versus the Dead Man. I think you're kind of off on that one a little bit, Calvin. But opinions are opinions. We'll let you have yours.
Here's what I'll say the difference is between Undertaker versus Lesnar and Taker versus Sting. Lesnar, as much as he's, this beast, blah, 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 he's not entirely safe in the ring. He's a big ham bone. Sting would take care of the Undertaker in a way that Lesnar definitely couldn't. Sting knows what he's doing. Lesnar's just kind of a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
John, what's your take on that real quick on the Undertaker?
I think that the Undertaker starts a new streak. I think he goes 0-21. I think he ends up going 21-21, and then he starts a new streak. He wrestles for 900 more years. No. Seriously though, I think we've seen the last Undertaker. There's no confirmed Sting sightings. He's just hinting at here and there. And if he comes back, God, I agree with Eric. He's old. I don't know. I think we've seen the last, and I think he stays in character, and I don't think we see him at all until maybe he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I hate to say this because it just pains me so much, but I agree with you, John. he's got to be done. He wouldn't give up the streak. He's that hard-headed. Like I said, he's been in his character his whole entire life. You've never seen him out of character. He's not gonna just I'm losing Brock Lesnar. I'll come back and fight unless they give him. I mean, maybe they offer him a big enough contract where it'll get his motor running a little more. But I think he's gone. I don't even think we see anything until next WrestleMania, and he retires coming next WrestleMania. I think he's just gone for a while, especially with this concussion. But that's my opinion. We all have our own. We'll talk about the next thing that we've all been waiting for forever. John, Daniel Bryan, talk about it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh man. Yahoo. Yes. 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 Two great matches. I can't believe I mean, you knew Daniel Bryan's going to win the title. I'm just genuinely shocked that Triple H put him over as well as he did. And then you get that amazing RKO power bomb, Batista bomb on the table, and he pulls a Mankind circa '97 off the steel or the Hell in the Cell, gets on the stretcher, and then he fights back into the ring. It's amazing, compelling TV. Yeah, I was genuinely woo. I'm still flabbergasted.
we all here at the Ring King's house shared a moment and had a nice little hug and said finally and shook hands, and it was a good moment. It was a very good moment.
We never talk about that again.
Oh, sorry. But no, it was good. I'll throw my opinion real quick. I've been waiting for this. Like I said last week's podcast, I was scared that it wasn't going to happen. I was scared WWE was just going to dangle him in front of us again. Here he is. But it happened. I'm extremely happy. Hopefully it's a long title run. Eric, let me know what you think about Daniel Bryan finally.
I actually am the person that didn't want him to win at WrestleMania just because I kind of wanted to come full circle to SummerSlam, do a whole year on it. But the Yes Movement's still going. I can't believe I was excited for Batista and Randy Orton to kick out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Everybody in the house was like, "Oh, thank you, Randy. Thank you, Batista."
But it was great, like John said, great 2 matches. It really ended the night very well. And he'll be a good champion. I can't wait to see what's going to come about it, especially for the summer. We needed him to be champion too.
Tad, give me your take on D. Bryan finally getting what I think he, after his 12-year tenure in wrestling from Ring of Honor up to WWE, finally gets what he deserves.
Right. Well, at first, I kind of said it on the Ring Kings Facebook page last night. I don't think anybody deserves it more than Daniel Bryan. I mean, the guy is absolutely all heart, and he's absolutely 100% committed to the business. That's the one difference between him and CM Punk is the commitment to the business. Daniel Bryan won't be the kind of guy that'll ever just walk out because it's all he wants to do, and it's crazy to see somebody that really, really deserves it like that. It it reminds me of WrestleMania 20. Obviously, you could see the parallels between the two with Eddie and I don't know who that other guy was.
Nobody does.
Chris Jericho.
Right. Who knows who he was?
Some Canadian.
But, yeah.
Some of the Bowflex.
Chris Bowflex.
I figured it was like Stevie Richards or something. I don't know. But I thought I saw a lot of parallels between it where it was a guy that, heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into the business. I don't think anybody deserves it more than Daniel Bryan. I have a little concern about how long his title run's going to be. It kind of makes me think of when Ray won the title after Eddie died, how he kind of got thrown around and beat up, and then he lost the belt. But the reason I don't think a title run's going to be super, super long because they've got Batista right now who's going to be promoting a movie. They've got Lesnar who they probably want to capitalize on. Triple H is always the kind of guy that's going to want to put the belt on himself.
Yeah, I said that exactly tonight. I got really worried the minute I saw that Triple H match, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me." He is that tool bag that would do something like that. I'm surprised he didn't tonight, honestly.
Maybe he's changed or something. Maybe he's put the shovel away for good.
Hopefully.
I say that now. But
yeah. Barney, what do you think about it?
I'm just going to throw it out there real quick. Ted, you're welcome back to the podcast anytime. Thank you for hating on CM Punk with me.
Botter, what do you think about the Daniel Bryan situation and him finally winning?
I would have to say that after all this build-up, you can't have him have like a short title reign. He's got to have, at least. I mean, in my opinion, half a year. It's got to be at least that. But yeah, there is a lot of factors that come into play now. I mean, you have Bautista with his crappy movie and whatever, but don't throw the belt on him because everybody will hate him and not watch TV anymore. But I think Lesnar's going to go in a different direction. I'm not thinking title push. I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe throw in like a little Randy Orton legend killer thing, bring HBK back for like SummerSlam and have him face him or something like that. Take somebody out of retirement. Just have him be a monster for a little bit. But you've got to keep the titles on D. Bryan for, I said 6, at least 4. You got to give him 4 months, man. I mean, just let him have his time. And plus, he's selling merchandise. The crowd is completely behind him, and even in the most boring of places, there's yes chants. But also, there's CM Punk chants in really boring places.
Which we'll get to shortly. We'll get to that. Calvin, your take on D. Bryan?
Now, Tad, you said that nobody deserves it more, and the crowd let the whole WWE universe know that nobody deserves it more with a "You deserve it" chant tonight in New Orleans again. And don't think Triple H didn't hear that. And I just think he needs to have a long run. It needs to be at least 6 months. It's got to go long, and they're going to build it up. They're building up Cesaro right now. So this is just going to go on and on and on. And I'd rather see Daniel Bryan stay champion and just completely annihilate the Authority to the point where they just disappear for a while too.
I don't think anybody would protest Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan for the belt.
We'll get to that in a second. That's on the list. Let's talk about D. Bryan right now first. We'll get to that. We got a lot about Cesaro to talk about too. Eric, let me get your take on DB.
Well, I already said something, but if you want to continue more, we can.
Oh, I lost track. Okay, we're good. Whatever. Okay, so now
I haven't said it.
sometimes the host messes up. I hurt my knee. I'm on a bunch of pain pills. Leave me alone. So anyways, so we'll get to it now then. We'll get to the next topic. Cesaro. What an amazing show he did last night. The whole nine yards. Between the tag team match, breaking up with the Real Americans to the Battle Royale, where he picked up Big Show. Didn't just throw him, picked him up, held him, then threw him over the top rope. To tonight, where Botter, tell us what you think, because you got hard. I'm gonna say it. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we'll go back to WrestleMania with this. The show of strength that he showed with the Big Show was incredible. I mean, it looked like he was picking up a bag of groceries and he just tossed it over the top rope. The guy's incredibly strong. But then he just follows up his awesomeness by coming in the Raw, accepting the trophy, and he's like, you know what? I'm not a Zeb Coulter guy. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. And then everybody lost their minds. And it's exactly what needed to happen. And here's my take on it. I don't think even going in with Paul Heyman is going to make him a heel, because he's just about as he's really over. I mean, you see Cesaro section every section. I mean, if they could somehow do a yes Cesaro chant, they would. They haven't figured it out yet. Give him a week. But him teaming up with Paul Heyman is going to be incredible.
Hold on there, Calvin. It said you just muted Botter. How do you unmute him real quick, you jerk?
Try to pull a Ziggler and steal
Come on, Calvin. Unmute him. Don't be a jerk.
He's already unmuted there, big guy.
All right, Botter, go back. You can finish your story now. You got muted by Calvin.
Don't ask me how I did it.
You're still muted.
Yep.
What do we got going on here, guys? Hold on.
All right, I got it. All right.
Oh, there we go.
He's trying to shut me down. All right, guess he's not a Cesaro fan. Whatever.
This is around the horn.
Pipe bomb.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, no, what I'm saying is that him joining up with Heyman's not going to make him a heel. it's going to make him a face. He's going to get the push that he deserves because the fans are behind him. I mean, it's like Daniel Bryan 1, Cesaro 2, you know. But he's going to go places with Paul Heyman because, I mean, look at Paul Heyman's credentials. He just had a guy that he managed break the streak, so why not go on to the next big thing in Cesaro? That was a good segue.
All right,
wait,
yeah.
Heyman's credentials. Hold on a second. Are we forgetting about last year? I believe. What's Curtis Axel doing?
Ride Baxel, bro. Come on now.
That's his one
Dude,
blemish.
shows every night.
Well,
Like I'm
That's
genuinely
stand that guy.
shocked that they're not champions.
I don't think it's on Curtis Axel though. I think he's a great wrestler. They just threw him in with Ryback. That's the unfortunate thing.
He's a bald retard.
That's
He can't
not
do
getting.
anything.
Hey, whoa.
No, Ryback is yes,
Guys.
Yeah.
great wrestler.
All right, let's just move on. Eric, your take on Cesaro and where he's at right now and where you think he's probably going in the future here.
I am ecstatic. I love Cesaro. Always have. King of Swing chance tonight. That was awesome. But this is great. For me, I've been following him for many, many years. Another Ring of Honor guy. Great job. Great matches back in the day with Chris Hero as well. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do. Like Botter said, I don't know if he would necessarily be a heel because he is with Paul Heyman. But we'll see where we're going to go with that. And all I have to say with this, too, is where was he like last year for WrestleMania? Not doing that great. And then, CM Punk was all about him. And then CM Punk quits and Daniel Bryan goes somewhere. And so does Cesaro.
Cesaro was the U.S. champion last year at WrestleMania. He didn't defend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing anything, though, with it.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
They gave him the title, and they just said, no, I mean, the U.S. title is so irrelevant now. I don't.
I was just say, are they even doing anything with the U.S. title anyway?
Dean Ambrose was in a promo tonight with Kane and the Authority. It didn't even have the title with him. Well, since when have you ever had a title and not had it with you at all times in the WWE?
The U.S. title is the WWE Participation Award.
All right, John, give me your take on Cesaro right now and his future endeavors and where you think he's heading.
I like him to have a huge push to Money in the Bank and win the Money in the Bank match. And I think he holds it until Hell in the Cell, wins the title. I think you give him a month until Royal Rumble, and then you move on. You don't want Cesaro yet main eventing WrestleMania. I think he drops it at Royal Rumble to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar takes it to Mania. But I like him. I mean, he's got great mic skills. Ungodly strong. He rivals me in strength. I mean, it's close. I'm still slightly stronger, but whatever. It is what it is. But no, he's good on the mic. He's got a good skill set. Got a good look. He needs some new music now, I guess. And it was so simple the way he just switched like that tonight. He's like, no, Zeb, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. And it was just the biggest pop in the night right there. It was amazing.
All right, Calvin, your take on Cesaro.
It was the fastest way for them to get Paul Heyman back into the crowd by having Cesaro say, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. Because Paul Heyman was getting booed left and right after the streak was broken by Brock Lesnar earlier in the night. So now with Paul Heyman and Cesaro teaming up, I think the sky's the limit for Cesaro. And Cesaro's going to eventually be WWE champion. I agree with John. He goes on, wins Money in the Bank. But I think he cashes it in sooner, probably at Battlegrounds in Ohio this year.
The other thing you got to think about, too, is that Paul Heyman's so good, he can stay on TV and be managing both Brock Lesnar and him. They could do back-to-back segments. He could be a heel in one segment, take a commercial break, come back as a face because he's that good on the mic.
Yeah, he probably. Tad, your take on Cesaro, Paul Heyman guy, and all he did last night and tonight.
Yeah, actually, John kind of stole my thunder with that. I was going to say, I don't know, Heyman's super good or what, but Cesaro somehow turned Paul Heyman face after, managing the guy that broke the streak, which that's insane, I think. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't think we can necessarily say whether Cesaro's heel or face until we have a crowd that's not a smart mark crowd like post-WrestleMania always is. But I mean, I'll start with WrestleMania. Obviously, the Cesaro. I didn't expect him to win the Battle Royal. I think I was with about everybody else that said it's probably going to be the Big Show. Tribute to Andre the Giant. I did really enjoy the fact that Big Show wore the one strap as a tribute, and then seeing the comparison between Cesaro's lift and WrestleMania 3 was really awesome. But Cesaro made it look absolutely simple. He picked him up like he was a baby and tossed him, and it was. I would argue to say he's the strongest guy in the company right now.
Oh, yeah.
But
I agree, 100%.
Hands down. Pound for pound, hands down the strongest guy on the roster right now.
And then I really enjoyed his thing tonight. Like I said, I can't believe somehow he got Paul Heyman to get face cheers. I was really impressed by that. I wish they hadn't broken the trophy because I thought the trophy was really cool. But
kind of chinsy though for WWE. They think you can afford something a little more solid than that.
I think it was a second replica one.
Yeah, I think that was a replica.
It better be. If I was Cesaro and they broke my trophy for storyline, I'd be pissed.
Well, look how it took Cesaro a little bit to pick it up last night, and if Jack Swagger could pick up the trophy tonight, then you know it was a different one.
They also did like a whole week-long online vignette of how it was made, like it's made out of bronze.
Didn't look like bronze to me.
Looked like styrofoam with bronze spray paint.
But I'll throw my opinion real quick on this Cesaro. Last night I was thrown off. I said it had to be Big Show all the way, just like everybody else did. The feat of strength is insane. The Cesaro swing is insane. He can go down to NXT and he can have a crazy high-fly match with Sami Zayn. He can come up to WWE and he can have a Battle Royale and throw freaking Big Show over the top rope and no problem. I think tonight at Raw was bigger about Paul Heyman than it was Cesaro, though. We've all kind of hit it on it a little bit, touched on it. Kelvin, I think, hit the nail on the head. It was that they had to do something to get Paul Heyman so he could not be booed and he could talk and use those mic skills. And what else you do besides get him with the second most over guy in the company right now, Cesaro? That was perfect use. I've been really down on the WWE and the writing and where the storylines have been going up until the last 2 weeks, and this is just perfect. You throw a mouth like Paul Heyman with a featured athlete like Cesaro, and you just got a winning combination all around. I mean, just get everything. And Cesaro can talk too if he wants to. It's not like Brock Lesnar who can't even be on a mic because he's that bad.
He's really, really bad.
Like 5 languages or something.
Yeah, but Cesaro heading in the right place. Paul Heyman, I think, was the show stealer tonight, though. I think Raw. This was Paul Heyman's Raw tonight for sure. So let's talk about the next topic. We'll get right into here. Let's talk about the fact that CM Punk was in New Orleans for WrestleMania. John's gone. He hates this topic. For WrestleMania. I mean, pictures everywhere, and he didn't come back for the biggest night of the year for WWE. Are we done with CM Punk, Potter? Is he not coming back? Again, we'll go over this again. I mean, it's WrestleMania. I think I bleeped myself there. I'm not sure if I did or not.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
There's only so much you can do in Chicago. So he's going to get stir crazy. So, no, I don't think it's the last time we ever see him. I mean, granted, yeah, he's still making himself out to the public and everything like that. But this guy, he's a wrestler. He's got to come back. I think he's still on a sabbatical, and I think he still will come back. I don't know when, but I would probably say, you know what, man, you should probably come back SummerSlam. That'd be really awesome, because that's where everything's going to start to heat up, in my opinion. SummerSlam would probably be the way to go, but I don't know. It's entirely up to him.
Tad, your take on CM Punk?
All right, let me start out by saying before this whole thing went down.
We have Tad.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Obviously, before this whole thing went down, you wouldn't find a bigger CM Punk fan than me. I was always a fan, always loved to see him talk.
I might have to beg to differ. We have one with us. I don't know if you've met Eric yet. Eric, Tad, Eric, you guys are now married. CM Punk official.
Hi.
I gave you that nickname.
Yeah, I was going to say, K-Fed gave me the nickname of Mr. Cult of Personality, so.
Anyways, back to Tad. Let's get serious here,
Yeah.
guys. This is a podcast.
See, I was a huge fan. I was definitely marked for CM Punk. Loved his stuff. Been following him since Ring of Honor, but this whole thing has completely turned me off to him. I kept hoping in my heart of hearts that this was a work somehow.
That's what I kept thinking it was.
That they were completely pulling the wool over our eyes, but I don't believe it anymore. I don't think he's coming back. At least I don't think he's done wrestling. I don't think we'll see him in the WWE anymore. My bold prediction for him, I will guess that he will end up in New Japan Pro Wrestling facing off with AJ Styles.
Wow. All right. Calvin, your take on Mr. Punk.
Well, I was hoping he was going to come out and ruin the first match with Triple H.
Everybody
hitting the pedigree. I thought that was so much going to happen. I was hoping for it so much as we're sitting there watching it last night, and it just never happened. And after that happened, I just knew he wasn't coming back tonight, and I really don't know if he comes back. I agree with Blotter, though, that if he doesn't come back by SummerSlam, I think we've seen the last of CM Punk in the WWE for a really long time, and possibly forever. It's heartbreaking because he was a great wrestler, best in the world. He gave everything he had every night, day in, day out. He'd do anything for the company, and then all of a sudden they just fell apart after the Rumble. It's just kind of heartbreaking.
I mean, it's a personal issue, obviously, going on with him. He's not happy with where his life was with the
Let's
WWE.
not forget AJ
obviously.
Lee just lost her Divas title tonight.
Well, I mean, she's leaving too now.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's see if we can get John to stop taking a selfie for a second and see if he can weigh in on CM Punk.
Hold on. I'm trying to beat my high on Angry Birds or Flappy Bird. So, are we still talking about CM Punk though? Oh, okay. Just go on without me.
All right, Eric.
Like I said, me being a huge CM Punk fan, there was a part of me that wanted to see him last night, but I had to laugh because of everybody saying, "Oh, he was in New Orleans, Friday, Saturday," teasing. I knew he wasn't going to be there, unfortunately, and like Calvin touched on with with his girlfriend losing her title tonight. We'll see where that's going to go. But if he were to come back, I actually wouldn't want to see him at SummerSlam. I would want to see him at Money in the Bank. That is his pay-per-view, winning 2 back-to-back and for the WrestleMania ones, and then also winning the title and leaving at Money in the Bank. That would be the pay-per-view I'd love to see him back in. I don't think it's going to happen anyway. I think we're done with Punk for now.
Well, with
Wait.
No, John, you lost your time.
I have a provocative question.
No.
What if he never comes back?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. God, John, you're fired.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really wasn't listening.
Then this podcast will just keep going on and on and on about CM Punk.
We'll always have one topic every week then, no matter what. All right, so after what Eric just touched on and Kelvin just touched on, let's move right into it. Paige came up to WWE tonight to congratulate AJ Lee, the Witch, on her win last night. And Paige wins the championship.
Thank you, Paige.
Eric, you seem like you're about to... let's not use the words I'm thinking right now, but your take on Paige and now being the NXT and the WWE Divas champion at once.
That's the only thing I don't really like with it right now is, yes, she is still the women's champion in NXT, but I'm a huge Paige fan. Been talking about her for so long. Her whole family is wrestlers. Her dad, her 2 brothers, her mom. Seen her come into Shimmer Wrestling back in, I think it was 2011. Been following her since, but she's really great. Do I think it's kind of weird what they did? Yeah. It is her debut having the title. I mean, Santino did it before he came out of the crowd and won a title. But you kind of saw it coming a little bit with AJ bragging about how long she's had it and everything like that, and then talking about respect. Kind of sounded like CM Punk. But it was great to see her win this championship, and she is the anti-diva in NXT, so we'll see what she's going to do with it up in the WWE.
But what about Emma? I don't know. I like the premise of it. Still would wish it was Emma. Botter, your take on Miss Paige?
For one, I told you all that AJ was going to retain it at WrestleMania because I had a feeling this might happen. But, yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, Paige is solid. And not taking anything away from AJ, she's solid in the ring too. But she's had the title for 14 years now, so let somebody else take it for a little bit. But, yeah, Paige is going to do great. Who knows? We could have Paige and Emma, and then it could just be awesome. That'd be good.
Okay, John, your take on AJ Lee losing the title tonight?
I think it was really great. The Divas division obviously needed this shot in the arm 17 years ago. But I did an AJ and Paige feud. That's going to be fantastic to watch. Paige knows how to wrestle. AJ's got charisma to give away. They need this. The Divas need this. And you throw Emma in there in a triple threat. Oh boy. Bump, 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 bump.
Calvin, your take on?
We're all forgetting one main thing. How did AJ Lee win the title last night?
She did cheat. She cheated.
She cheated Naomi out of it. A fake
Ain't cheating, ain't trying.
Now, I'm surprised that wasn't brought up. I'm surprised Naomi didn't come out and stop her before Paige came out and before Paige came out and tried to congratulate her. But I am ecstatic that Paige won tonight. I cannot. AJ Lee, in my mind, has run her course with her whole Attitude Era type Divas thing. It's not my style for her. She needs to go back to being like a GM role in WWE for the Divas. I just don't like AJ Lee, so I'm happy that Paige is now champion. Could this be another Ultimate Warrior type thing where she's the only one ever to hold the NXT champion and Divas championship at the same time? Probably. The Ultimate Warrior was the only one to hold the WWE champion and Intercontinental championship at the same time.
All right, Tad, what's your take on this match, and maybe where the Divas are heading, what direction they're heading in right now, positive or negative?
Well, I definitely think it's heading in a positive direction. In our preview, I did not think AJ Lee would retain. I assumed one of the Bellas would win. I don't care which one. I think they're both madly overrated. But I'll start off by saying AJ Lee has nothing to hang her head about. That was a great long title run. At least in the Divas division, she made it kind of interesting at times, which it's been pretty flat lately. I was all for Paige winning the belt. It was kind of surprising to see her do it in the debut. But you could definitely see when she won that belt, you could see the emotion. That she had definitely, she really, really wanted it. And about the thing with the NXT title and the Divas title, also remember that when Big E got called up, he had the belt and he lost it. Seth Rollins had the belt and he lost it when he got brought up. And I'm keep making these bold predictions. I will guess that Paige, being the anti-diva, will drop the Divas title and bring back the women's title.
Hey, there it is again. Ooh. Tad with a shell shocker. Not the bad Ryback one either, like an actual. All right. So the next topic we'll talk about, I'll throw it real quick. Divas, that was awesome. Paige, Emma, that's all. Make out. Call me.
Huge crowd pop, by the way.
Yeah, really? For a diva?
Yeah, loudest one of the year.
All right, so let's talk about the next thing real quick. Probably the biggest disappointment to me of the night was the Cena and Bray Wyatt match. Just because, Calvin, it was the biggest disappointment because I thought, I think John agrees with me too, that was going to be the show stealer. And I kind of feel like they wrote it so it wouldn't be. I think with that talent in the ring, it could have been easily the show stealer, and the writers knew that, so they made it so it would be not that. John, touching that Wyatt and Cena fight last night a little bit, and what you think how it was handled.
Well, I think the match was awful. I feel like it was Cena's fault because you would watch the things that Bray was doing. You hearing him talk, the crowd was behind him, even though they shouldn't have been. I can't remember. Somebody said it that the reason he lost is because the fans would cheer him, and they don't want that. And I think that's the only reason he lost. But he was talking to John Cena. He was begging him to hit him with a chair, turn into this new thing. Bray Wyatt was telling a story, and John Cena was wrestling a match. and it's just it didn't mesh the way anybody that I think that's been on this podcast thought it would. Boy, and I don't know. I don't know what happened. I feel like they talked to Taker and Brock and were like, "Hey, who's gonna have the worst match?" And
All right, let's have the one and only Cena fan in the world left to talk about it. Kelvin, give your take on the match.
The match, it really wasn't that great, but I really thought it was going to be really, really, really good and steal the show like an HBK showstopper type thing, and it just never panned out. Bray was trying to get Cena to completely turn his legend around and become like, let the demons out that he knows are inside of him. So I don't think this feud is anywhere near over. They're just trying to build it up more and more, and it took a step back last night at WrestleMania with the match in itself. It wasn't that great. You could see it coming with this when the steel chair got brought in and Bray Wyatt's down on his knees. The Harper over there got up on the ring too soon, and you knew that Cena was going after him, and that after that Cena was going to kick out, and boom, AA, game over, John Cena. Cue the music. You can't see me.
Listen, it's an FU. If you're going to be a Cena fan, at least call it the FU, not the AA.
Hey, we're in the PG-13 era. It's the AA.
We're on the podcast. This is rated R for Edge.
And if you want to be technical, it's the STF.
Rated R for When in Rome.
Yeah. All right, Tad, your take on Cena Wyatt last night, what you thought.
All right, I'll kind of go the other way. You guys seem to not like the match. I actually really enjoyed it, less for the match and more for the story that it told. First off, my favorite spot in the entire show came from that match when Cena went for the 5-knuckle shuffle and Bray did the spider walk thing. I jumped. It scared the hell out of me. But,
Great camera work.
It's actually a crab walk, but we'll call it spider walk.
Yeah, I thought that
Great
was fantastic. I thought the whole match was less about the actual wrestling match and more about the story that it told. Bray obviously was, like you guys have said, trying to get Cena to tarnish his legacy, and I almost wonder if this is the beginning of that, because he can honestly say that he got in Cena's head. And yeah, the match itself, wrestling-wise, wasn't great, but Bray had those fans eating out of his hands, and it was really a sight to see. The fans swaying and singing it's something that I assumed that it was going to be a big thing on Monday Night Raw tonight. I thought that was going to be the fandangoing of this year. But yeah, I would say judge it less on the match itself and the story that it told. And I will say I think Bray's going to get that win back at Extreme Rules, and I think this is going to start a whole new Cena.
Okay. We that's a good little side. Botter, your take on Cena and Wyatt last night.
If you really want to enjoy this match, don't watch the match. Listen to the audio, watch the crowd, and just take it all in for what it's worth. The what they did in the ring, not that good. The crab walk, awesome, everything. But this feud is far from over. I mean, in my opinion, if they wanted to, settle it at WrestleMania, they should have started it about 2 months before they actually started the feud between Cena and the Wyatts. But right now, people are eating it up, so they don't have a problem with the feud. John Cena's not in a title spotlight, so that's good, for the first time in 10 years. So, I mean, we can actually honestly see the Wyatts grow and then see where the character development of Cena leads to. Because, I mean, he's been hustle, loyalty, respect for years now. I want to see a different side. I want to see where this feud will take it. But, I mean, as just for the WrestleMania match, not that good. The story and the fans, great. So I didn't have a big problem, but they could have handled it a little bit different.
All right, Eric, your take on it?
Like everybody's been saying, the match itself wasn't that great. I was hoping to see a lot more action in the match that was just back and forth. I mean, you've seen Wyatt do some really good things in the squash matches that he's been having these past couple of weeks. And then even Cena, what he's been doing with some of the other wrestlers, like with Cesaro, he put on a great match.
Exactly.
So I was hoping these two could bring out the best in each other, but it really didn't do anything. But I think this, like we were saying, this could be just the beginning. This could be, it's getting that little bug in Cena's ear, and all you have to do is have Cena keep facing these other guys, Bray Wyatt showing up, and Cena snapping. It could bring on a whole new character in Cena, hopefully. It'd be really nice to see. But as we were all doing it, the crowd was amazing, with Follow the Buzzards.
We got the whole
Yeah.
world in my hands.
That was pretty amazing. That, and, the whole crab surprise was great. But other than that, I was hoping it would be a little bit better.
Yeah. Good storyline. Wish they would have let him wrestle a little more. All right, so the very last thing I'm going to talk about, because we're getting the time limit here. You guys are all old school wrestling fans because you're, up to the age group with me. Stone Cold, The Rock, and Hulk Hogan chugging beers. Tad, did you get goosebumps? Because I did.
I absolutely got goosebumps just watching it. When that glass breaks, it doesn't matter, if it's on Raw, if it's at WrestleMania, if it's just another pay-per-view. When that glass breaks, you get really excited. Something's about to go down. And I thought, holy crap, Hogan and Stone Cold, this is a moment. And when The Rock's music hit, it was just like, wow.
We were all reliving our childhood.
Sploosh.
Calvin, did you how'd you feel about that whole situation?
It
Feel
was
12 again?
I felt like I was 12 again, and I had just had an erection for the first time, all over again.
All right, so on to the next one, John. John Cena. No, not John Cena. Jesus, you got me all flustered.
There
now.
you go.
Whoa!
Cena.
Steve Austin, The Rock, Hulkamania, center of the ring, chugging beers.
I think the best reaction was Justin Botter. He was standing right next to me, and when the glass broke, somehow he transported from right next to me to like halfway down the street, and then like back, freaking out. I screamed like a little girl. I went hoarse. I lost one of my lungs through my mouth. It was fantastic. It was glorious, and I really I expected to see either one or the other there tonight because they're still in New Orleans. They just went like a block away. Oh man,
They're hammered drunk at a bar. Why the hell will it be at Raw?
I mean,
Stone Cold was drunk in the
Hogan
ring.
made it, Hogan made it, but he's immortal. So I mean, what are you gonna do? When in Rome. When in Rome.
I don't remember. It might have been. I can't remember which wrestling site posted this, but one of the guys that was there after the show walked out and saw Stone Cold piss ass drunk peeing on a falafel stand. And he was just like, "This is too good not to post." I'm sure
Story
Stone Cold
of my
is
life.
I'm sure Stone Cold is still wasted somewhere.
Dude, he was wasted in the ring.
Buddy, how many times have you done that?
4. Just 4.
That's it.
All right, Eric. We'll get to you real quick. Stone Cold Rock and the Hulkamania, brother.
Well, I mean, it was already leaked that Stone Cold was going to be there, but I think opening the show with that, not the, pre-show we had the tag team match, but opening the show with that kind of gave me hope for this WrestleMania because it wasn't the strongest card ever, but just having that opening, it's 30 years of WrestleMania. We had to have something big, and then just seeing all those icons in the ring together, my childhood brought back. It was amazing to see everybody. That's about it, really.
Butter. Don't run away too fast now. Make sure you answer the question before you run.
No. Honestly, I would have to say it's the greatest opening to any WrestleMania that they've ever done. Because, I mean, you have 3 of those guys in the ring, acting like buddies, having beers, everything. I mean, you couldn't possibly set it up better. I mean, I was excited going into WrestleMania, but after that segment, I did 2 lines of cocaine mentally. So
I mean, that's how I got down the road.
So, you know what stuff I'm going to beep out in this tomorrow?
but no. The opening for that was amazing, and Yeah, since you're not going to touch on it, Goat Shield and the Shield one at WrestleMania. Yes.
All right.
The other thing is too that it turned a 3 out of 10 WrestleMania on paper into an 8 out of 10.
Hold on, John. Hold on. That's the next thing here. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
the
go
greatest
through.
thing at the Silver Dome, right, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Silver Dome.
Hold on. So the last segment we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask everybody to rate it from a scale of 1 to 10. No reasons. Give me a rating, and then and give me a rating if you put in the top 3 or top 5. Let me know that. Bob, we'll start with you. Rate it.
8.95, second best WrestleMania of all time.
Eric.
I'd only give it like a 7.5. Actually, it's in my top 5.
John.
I give it an 8. I think it was the best one of the last 10 years.
Calvin.
7.8, top 5.
And Tad.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I'll definitely say it's my favorite one in the last 10 years. Only second to X7, favorite all time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with an 8. I liked everything about it. WrestleMania 17 though, still number 1. WrestleMania 30, easily number 2 in my book now, hands down.
The reason it got 7.5 for me is because I'm the only one that wanted Brock Lesnar to win.
All right, guys, this has been episode 5 of the Squared Circle. We had some guests tonight. Make sure you check us out on Twitter. We are at Ring Kings SK. Facebook is SK Ring Kings. And then, I don't know, we have anything else, John? What's the other one? No, that's it. Oh, no, sports-kings.com. Click on the combat link, read our articles. Till next time, guys. It's been good.